In the last video I showed you how to play the guitar in your beats, and in this video I'll show you how you can use these skills to make samples like this one. As you could probably hear, I used my acoustic guitar for this one. I was going for this live sounding, layered and kinda messy sounding guitar, so I started off very simple to leave space for more guitar layers. We're in the key of G minor and I played in these chords. I started with a D sharp major 7, then went up to a G minor 7, then a G minor 7 again, but on the E string this time, and then a D dominant 7. Even though I can plug my guitar directly into my interface, I use my microphone to record it. It's a pretty shitty $50 microphone, but I wanted it to sound really close so you can hear all the string noises and even the room I'm in. And with only a few effects, the main melody sounds like this. After that I added another very simple layer. I played the same chords again, just in a slightly different way. If you know me, you know I love reversing my guitars. So I took the layer I just showed you, reversed it, pitched it up an octave, sliced it up a bit and added a few effects to make this beautiful texture. Now we have a nice full sounding bass for the sample, and I tried to come up with a top melody. For this I just looped the sample and freestyled for a few minutes. I recorded everything and then at the end just picked my favorite parts of it to make this melody. Finally, for the guitar I wanted to add a bit of texture and rhythm, so I recorded some slaps on the strings and also some snaps. Then it was time for the vocals. Basically every R&B sample I've ever made has some vocals in it. I just love the sound and feeling that vocals can add to your samples. I can't sing at all, I'm probably the worst singer I know, but I'm a producer and sometimes I actually manage to make my vocals sound good. I started off by adding as much autotune as possible and then I just sang in random stuff for about 3 or 4 minutes. And for this one you really have to trust the process, I promise it'll sound good in the end. So after recording I took the autotune off again. I just used it as kind of an orientation to hear what sounds good while singing. I used FL Studio's new tone for the pitch correction just because that sounds a bit more natural than autotune and I have more control over the notes of the vocals. After that I did the same thing as I did with the guitar melody. I just listened through the entire recording and picked the parts that sounded the best. I arranged the little vocal slices and it sounded like this. That doesn't sound too bad, but I still wasn't fully happy with how the vocals sounded. So I took the vocals I just showed you and put them into a fruity slicer. I sliced them up and came up with a new pattern that sounds like this. I also had a few longer notes in the recording that didn't sound too bad, so I used them as a more washed out atmospheric sound in the background. At this point I also pitched down everything one semitone, so now the main part of the sample is done. Next I just added a simple bass line. I wanted to make the next part of the sample a bit dreamier, and I started off by adding this guitar layer. Just the same chords once again, just played differently. I replaced the original bass line with a long sub bass, very quiet and very soft. Then I took the original vocals, played around with a few effects and added them as more of like a texture. After that I added some random melodic texture one-shots, and I also grabbed some percussion sounds to make a little loop and add some rhythm. And then for the last part of the sample I took out lots of the elements and made this very empty and simple section right after the more dreamy section, which I always love because of the beautiful contrast. For this I just used the bass line, the main guitar chords and the main vocals. And yeah, to finish everything off I just added a little vinyl texture. And then I exported the entire sample and pitched it down to semitones. And that's a full sample. I hope you could learn something from this. If you want to play the guitar like this, make sure to watch my last video. Let me know if you like this sample, and also let me know what kind of videos you want to see next. And yeah, thanks for watching.